Alright, in today's video, we are talking about finding the courage to take risk. Now, when it comes down to courage, the meaning of it is the ability to do something that you are afraid to do. And what I wanted to dive into first is, why are you fearful? Now, when it comes down to being fearful, it's usually because, well, let's talk about the opposite. The opposite is that you are in comfort. You are in a situation, or you're in a place, or you have things around you, or you have access to certain things that make you feel comfortable. And to be fearful is to be either without, or to put yourself in a different place or different situation than where you currently are, that you are unfamiliar with. Now, the reasons to be fearful is because maybe the information about the unknown is just unknown, and that fear of unknown is what's preventing you from making you do whatever it is to overcome that fear. And so when you look into other types of things that are preventing you, the other one is usually previous experiences, and these previous experiences could include traumatic experiences or just experiences that you may have heard from other people. And so when you have this type of information, this can also prevent you from doing certain things or being in certain places, or basically having the courage to do something different than what you're doing. And so when I explain it, we're just going to basically go over just having the courage. And so I won't keep saying the whole meaning of it. Now, when it comes down to where the fear is located, it's usually up here, psychologically, somewhere in your mind. Usually you use your five senses to either see or hear or whatever it is to take in information, and that information could be something that's present to you or present at that time, and it's an experience, and this experience was a bad one. So now you are fearful because you do not want that same experience to happen again. Or the opposite could be that you've heard of something and you don't want that same experience to happen to you, so you don't also do the same thing as well, which could also be a sign of being fearful. Now, when it comes down to like that feeling itself, where you are not wanting to do something to become uncomfortable, this is the main thing that we're going to be kind of going over, which is finding the courage to get over that. And so why are you in that is usually a mix of different reasons. I know for me personally, one of the things that I had to overcome, and I'm still working on it, but I feel like I've done most of the work now, is overcoming the, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, per se, because it's in every different situation that I'm in, but it's that fear of judgment. And so this judgment could come from different places, and so it prevents me from doing certain things that I would have done in certain situations because I don't want to be judged. And I know some of you may also relate to that, because no one likes to be judged. Usually the judgment brings on bad words or just things that are said to you that are just negative, to make that resemble what your image is and how your self-esteem should reflect to it, which I want to tell you first is like bad, incorrect, no. But when it comes down to actually digesting it and trying to process it, it is going to take a while to do. I remember when I was overcoming the judgment thing, you have to realize that when you're looking at such a huge fear like that, you're taking into a perception of the unknown, but you think that you know because you've had these similar experiences before, but you don't know what these experiences are going to be like with the next person. So I encourage you, if you are in the same boat with the whole judgment thing, to of course let that go, because people are going to judge no matter what. But if that judgment is never heard by you, why would you even care? If they even come and tell you, then you have the chance to talk about it and ask what their opinion is on it, because you didn't witness yourself in third person. So it's always nice to get someone else's perspective. And that's how I had to think about it in order to start overcoming it. Now, you may have other fears. For me, another one that I'm working on is my fear of heights. When it comes down to fears, I would say another part of it is you actually figuring out what the exact fear is, because with something like fear of heights, I didn't actually have a fear of being in high places, because I live like in the downtown area where I'm in skyscrapers all the time. I'm not afraid when I get to those like 50th, 60th floors. It's the fear of falling, actually. That's what it is. So if you're afraid of heights, you probably are afraid of falling more than you are of actually being up somewhere high. Because I thought I was going to be scared of flying. I got over that by, flying, actually doing it. Taking a shorter trip just to see what it's like to be on a flight for a few hours. Whatever it is that you need to do, you do need to overcome it by actually doing it, but you do want to do it in small steps or small quantities so that you're not overloaded by it and it's not super overwhelming. You may also need to ask for assistance or be in part of a group to also help you experience the unknown, or to do something different, or to just basically overcome and get the courage you need to do whatever it is that you want to do or whatever you want to have. Now, when it comes down to like a really good practice that I have, if you don't have access to the groups and all these other people and, having someone to do it with, I would say the biggest thing for me has been breathing. Now, when you can actually control your breathing in certain situations, it allows you to use your mind differently. And let me explain. When you are trying to make a decision right away and you've been doing things and you haven't really taken a second to take a fresh breath of air, your mind may not be in the right type of I don't know how to explain it because I'm not into that kind of thing where I know all these terminologies about the brain, but basically you are in this state of mind where you are pretty much occupied. Like your mind is so occupied that when you make a decision, it can feel rushed sometimes. It could feel like you're doing things that maybe your subconscious is already used to and it's just used to a comfortable thing, so it just does it automatically for you, so your brain doesn't have to think for you. And when you take the time to actually breathe, this is something that my therapist has taught me, where you take a breath, you hold the breath for 3 seconds. At the end of the 3 seconds, you will usually be in a different mindset that will allow you to make a better decision, which will usually allow you to make the decision to overcome your fear. And like I said, it does start with a baby step. So you start off with breathing, hold your breath for 3 seconds. And then you can have a better mindset and you know exactly what to do. Now you're more smooth, you know what I mean? Now you're more nice with it. So when it comes down to overcoming your fears, I hope this video has helped. You do need to do a couple things first before you have that courage to overcome the big risk that you may have. But if you dissect it, figure out what the real thing is that you're actually afraid of, or what the risk is, or whatever it is that's preventing you from being where you want to be or doing what you want to do, make sure you pinpoint exactly what it is. Of course, I usually recommend just writing these things down, writing something underneath it as to what's usually related to that or what other fears come with that. And then you tackle it by taking a first baby step, then 2 baby steps, 3 baby steps. And before you take that first baby step, make sure you actually breathe for your full 3 seconds. And after that 3 seconds, you go ahead and do what it is that you need to do. Hopefully this video has helped. Peace out. Bye.